Over the years, we've seen tons of amazing comic series come out of the Star Wars universe and franchise, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of our favorites.
And some of the best.
Welcome back, Nerd Squad. I'm your host, Amanda McKnight.
And I'm Taylor McWatters, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 Star Wars comics you need to read.
Be sure to stick around to the end of this list as well, where we'll have some bonus content coming your way.
And if you love the world of sci-fi, why not click over here to check out our top 10 most powerful cosmic Marvel villains list. Let us take you on a trip through the dark side of the cosmos.
But before you check that out, get ready to join us now on a trip to a galaxy far, far away, and let's get counting.
Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10, Boba Fett. Now, many fans have speculated that Boba Fett will return in the new Mandalorian season, and for good reason that is. I mean, after he's shot down by the rebels, he rolls into a Sarlacc monster. Now, did he die? Arguably yes, I mean it sure looks like it, but we never saw him die per se. The series, simply titled Boba Fett, was running from 1995 to 2006, starting with the first issue titled Bounty on Barracuda. It actually blends in nicely with the Enemy of the Empire storyline, so there you go. The series was written by John Wagner, Andy Mangels, John Ostrander, and Thomas Andrews. There's quite a bit of comedy sprinkled into the series nicely. The conversations Fett has with Gorga the Hutt, they're pretty fun. It's kind of like how we see the Mandalorian in his show. He's swift, he's stylish, and more importantly, he's a badass. When the fat lady swings, that is a great issue. So while Gorga the Hutt and his bride are enjoying this fun little space honeymoon, his bride gets taken. Ruh-roh. Oops. So of course Boba Fett is in charge of getting her back, safely that is. But of course, as fate would have it, he runs into old enemies and gets himself in these funny pickles. I think these comics are gonna each be an episode come season 3 of The Mandalorian. I feel like once the Baby Yoda stuff kind of settles and goes away, they have tons they can do, and I feel like Mando and Fett are gonna end up being buddy cops. One can only hope.
Number 9, Crimson Empire. Crimson Empire is a 6-issue limited series that came to us from Dark Horse Comics. It was originally released in the late 90s and was popular enough with fans to warrant 2 sequel series, Crimson Empire 2, Council of Blood, and Crimson Empire 3, Empire Lost. In particular, the epic final battle between Imperial Sovereign Protector and Sith Lord in training, Karnor Jax, an extremely loyal member of the Emperor's Imperial Guard, Kurkanos, wowed fans and made waves when the series' final issue was released. Art credits include Paul Gulacy, P. Craig Russell, and Dave Stewart, with beautiful covers by Dave Dorman and letters by Sean Connaught. Crimson Empire was written by Mike Richardson and Randy Stradley. One of the taglines for the series read, "Loyalty never dies."
And number 8, Lando. This next one is only 5 issues long, but worth the read nonetheless. Written by Charles Soule and released in 2015, it's Billy D. Williams on the page, so if you want to see more of him and his specific style, and also if you're new to the Star Wars comics, this is an ideal start, being that of only 5 issues. I don't want to say too many plot points because it's very short, but it's a very good run. But basically, it's a heist comic. With the helps of Lobot and a few other friends along the way, they steal a ship that belongs to Emperor Palpatine. Whoops. So if you're gonna take a ship, make sure you check the registration in the glove box, because you never know. There's also a new series based off Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover's work, with the character titled Lando, Double or Nothing. So once you're done with these 5 issues and you like them, go give Solo a watch and then smoothly transition into that 2018 issue with that Lando. All of the Landos, all the time. Let's go.
Number 7, Skywalker Strikes. This is the first arc in the 2015 Star Wars series from Marvel. It centers around Luke Skywalker, but of course also heavily features the whole cast of our favorite classic rebels, including Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, C-3PO, and the bravest little droid around, R2-D2. In this issue, Han and Leia are forced to do some quick thinking as a rebel assault mission quickly goes sideways, while Luke takes Darth Vader head-on and later learns more about his own Jedi mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This arc is written by Jason Aaron, with art by John Cassidy, colors by Laura Martin, and letters by Chris Eliopoulos. You can find this amazing Star Wars arc in the trade paperback of volume number 1, Skywalker Strikes, which collects the first 6 issues of the 2015 series.
And number 6, Darth Vader. With only 25 issues to fly through, this next one shouldn't take that long at all, especially this time of year. You're not missing much outside, guys, I mean realistically. Written by Kieran Gillen, not Karen Gillen, This comic book run started in 2015 and takes place after episode Uno. Episode 1 is still one of my favorites, by the way. No one can change that. It still belongs in my heart, in my soul, more importantly. So after Kieran watched the movies, he said he noticed small details that still needed to be explored. So this was written by a fan, which is good to know. So we took note on the fact that audience members never actually saw Darth Vader discover that he had a son and that the Emperor lied to him. Or the fact that in The Empire Strikes Back, it begins with Vader being in a much more powerful position, considering the fact that he was partially responsible for the destruction of the Death Star. Kinda weird. So if you just heard me say that sentence and you thought, oh, that sounds kinda neat, it is pretty neat. We also get to see Vader and a droid named Z67 interact. And it's pretty wild. He's like, hey, how are you? I'm here to help. And Vader's like, dude, if you tell anyone anything about this mission, I'm gonna blow you up. Cool? And he's like, wonderful.
Number 5, Hope Dies. Basically, the second volume or second run of Star Wars is one that you might want to check out in full. This is an arc from that series that you can find within the Hope Dies Star Wars Volume 9 trade paperback that collects issues 50 to 55 of Marvel's 2015 Star Wars series. Basically, you should just check out the 2015 Star Wars series. It also includes a Star Wars annual issue by acclaimed writer Cullen Bunn and the story Show Turin Lives by Kieran Gillen. Hope Dies tells the story of a shocking betrayal creating an imminent state of peril for the rebellion, who must find a way to soldier on despite impossible odds as Darth Vader somehow uncovers the secret location of both their base and fleet. Princess Leia must attempt to unravel the mystery before it's too late, but carefully as her investigation puts her on a path towards a direct collision with Darth Vader himself. This art features stunning artwork by Salvador Larroca, with colors by Guru EFX, and brilliant letters by Clayton Cowles. I love Clayton Cowles' letters.
And number 4, Poe Dameron. Written by Charles Soule and releasing its first issue back in 2016, the series lasted a couple of years with 31 issues to fill it up. And if you love The Force Awakens and you're curious as to what was happening right beforehand, especially with Poe Dameron, fear no longer. This is of course the comic that you need to read. More specifically, we see how he got to Jakku in the opening of that film. The best pilot in the Resistance is front and center in this series, and of course is under the command of General Leia Organa. The first issue picks up 30 years after the defeat of the evil Galactic Empire. The opening of the comic feels a lot like the opening of The Last Jedi, weirdly enough. Poe's talking to BB-8, saying stuff like, yeah, watch this, and doing like crazy pilot maneuvering tricks. Right off the bat, we get a nice chunk of conversation that sets the tone for the series. Leia explains to Poe that he grew up in a galaxy where the Empire had already been defeated, and that everything he knows about their capacity for evil, he learned secondhand. I love this line. This basically plants a seed in Poe's head that we would end up seeing motivate him later on in the trilogy. So it's nice to hear little things like that that add to your enjoyment of the already not well received sequel trilogy. Maybe it'll make you like it even more, dare I say.
Number 3, Captain Phasma. This is a 4-issue limited series written by one of my favorite writers, Kelly Thompson, surrounding the tough-as-nails First Order Stormtrooper, Captain Phasma. The series takes place following the events of the Star Wars film Episode 7, The Force Awakens. The series explains how Phasma managed to basically survive the destruction and devastation of the Starkiller base, and gives us more backstory and insight into her character. Which is great because I feel like she kinda got snubbed in the movies. It also features stunning artwork by artist Marco Cicchetto.
And number 2, Dark Empire. The Dark Empire is a trilogy written by Tom Veitch containing all the main trilogy characters. The story is set 6 years after the return of the Jedi. Darth Vader and the Emperor are dead, but a new empire has been formed under an unknown leader. It comes out as a shock to everyone that the new Emperor is in fact Emperor Palpatine, who cheated death by reincarnating himself into a clone of his body. Nice! Luke surrenders to Palpatine, leaving Han Solo and Princess Leia to try and save him, while also trying to keep the future of their unborn baby safe. The story aims to look at what would happen if Luke Skywalker actually did turn to the dark side, just like his father. Man, do you think that like if Luke had a kid and turned to the dark side, he'd cut his hand off too? Just like his dad did? Or would he keep the family tradition going? I don't know if that would be funny or sad or, I don't know, maybe a bit of both.
Number 1, Legacy. If you don't know who Darth Talon, Darth Nil, Darth Krayt is, and don't know the awesomeness of the one Sith, you need to know. A great place to start is with this series from Dark Horse, Star Wars Legacy. This series, written by John Ostrander, started in 2006 and spans multiple arcs across 52 individual issues. Dark Horse's time publishing Star Wars comics was interesting and creative, as we did not yet have the newest Star Wars films, giving writers a lot more room for creative freedom when it came to playing in this glorious sci-fi world. As always, thank you so much for watching. What are some of your favorite Star Wars stories that we missed? Let us know in the comments so we can check them out. And also let us know what you're looking forward to seeing in the new season of The Mandalorian. We're talking about it here, and we always love reading interesting theories. Anything with Baby Yoda, I'm super in for that. Oh, yeah, his tiny little Baby Yoda hands. I love that dude. No wonder everybody in the galaxy is trying to take him. Makes sense. Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, let's read out some from our last collab video. Top 10 Marvel characters you've never heard of. Okay, this first one comes at us from Miss Maggie. They say, thank God for this channel. Without it, I wouldn't know who the characters are. Well, thank God for you for watching, because without you, we wouldn't have anybody to explain these characters to. Also, we have tons of other topics in this channel too that we'd love to break down, so make sure you stick around with us. Yeah, and I love that. Yeah. I love that we're giving you education. Bad Lemon No Hope comments, I love that Adventure Time dress. Well, I'm not surprised, Bad Lemon No Hope. Since your username is from Adventure Time, and I love that. I love Adventure Time. Alright, next one comes from Dylan. I am big fan H2O McCallum. Sick middle name and or nickname. That's awesome. My middle name's Douglas. That's way less cool than that. Can you make another top 10 video of the strongest Spider-Man suits? I'm actually replaying Spider-Man on PS4 right now, so yes, I would love to do that. I'll put in a good word for you, Dylan, too. Another Dylan. There's maybe. So many great suits in like, you can't get bored of it, really. Like the stealth suit, the all black with the goggles. I wish I had a PlayStation. Stephen Williams shares, used to read Rom the Space Knight series years ago and his fellow Space Knights fighting the dire race. Glad you mentioned the Werewolves as well. Yeah, so Rom the Space Knight was actually the OG Space Knight, and he actually started out as a toy created for Parker Brothers, who was licensed to Marvel, but then they lost the rights in '86, so we lost Rom. But, you know, we kept the Space Knights. We got the Space Knights, it's all good. Yeah. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure you tap that subscribe button. That way you're part of the 1 million other cool cats and kittens subscribed to this channel. And while you're at it, make sure your notifications are also turned on so when we do our live premieres, you get notified and we can all hop in that chat together, which is always a good time. Always. She's Amanda McKnight. And he's Taylor McWatters. See ya. Stay nerdy, friends. He took note on the fact that audience members never actually saw what Darth Vader? I wrote Darth Vader. Just 7 cigarettes in his mouth. Like that's what I thought Darth said. Oh my god, yeah. Surrounding the tough as nails First Order Stormtrooper Captain. It also features stunning artwork by artist Marco Cicchetto. That's how I Cicchetto. It also features stunning artwork by artist Marco Cicchetto.